Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. And welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto episode 129. Today is Thursday, March 22nd, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish, even in terrible weather.
There we go. Rain for
Southern
us,
California
terrible
is
weather.
trash right now.
What is, who got the free Bitcoin for yesterday?
So our free Bitcoin winner was Duran Carr. Thank you for your comment. It was stating about how Bitcoin is number one right now, but if there was any coin that could overtake it as number one as the standard, what would it be? His answer, like I said, I didn't really agree with it, but I like the way he put it out. It was Stellar Lumens. He was trying to explain how they have Lightning Network, how they would, have different things implemented this year as well. So good comment there, and already sent that free Bitcoin. Thanks for that comment, brother.
Much appreciated. What's going on? Wakita, Gas, Jamal J, Game People, Crypto Q.
People Snowden. Yeah.
What is going on? What's going on, Tessa? All right, let's get to some news today. First thing up, U.S. Department of Treasury could add crypto wallets of sanctioned persons to Blacklist. We kind of mentioned this before. Let me make sure this article comes up because I actually didn't get it working. We mentioned this before, but yeah, it looks like America's being America.
Yeah.
Basically like we kind of talk about this all the time. They got the little gremlin stealing coins, of course, because we all know America's being America right now. But the U.S. Department of Treasury may begin adding digital currency addresses to the sanctions list if they can tie them to a sanctioned individual, according to a document issued March 19. The Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, may add digital currency addresses and wallets to specially designated nationals and block persons list, the SDN, which will alert the public with specific digital currency identifiers associated with a blocked person. So trying to do what the banks have already done and move backwards by telling people who we consider to be good or bad, who's allowed to use crypto and who isn't. Of course, anybody in the crypto space for more than a minute knows that it's almost not possible to do this. I mean, they even said they're not going to make an exhaustive list of everybody and every identification number or crypto address because it's not possible. Because if your crypto address gets flagged, all you do is create another one. You just keep creating them. You can keep creating them. You can keep creating them, and it doesn't stop.
People got thousands of wallets, thousands of public addresses. Yeah, Pandora's box has been open. It's like Medusa. You cut off one head, you grow two. So I'm pretty sure that this won't work.
Right.
They're going to have to target a very small amount of people.
And again, it's one of those things where you got your X key score and NSA poking around, I guess, already. But now you want to, we talk about this, creating an entire list where they're going to green light some people and say, well, you can use these wallets. These wallets are on the white list. You're not allowed to use them. They're bad or whatever. So there's going to continue to try to do it. And while they can't, again, all they're hoping for is a few good diddly gang members to say, you know what, we're going to listen to them and do exactly what they tell us.
Yeah, and I saw somebody, they actually wrote, this was back in 2013 or 14, they actually wrote a synopsis on this, how they could blacklist wallets and also use something called colored coins, so to say. They follow the track of where coins have been used, and then they blacklist it, so to say, so that if those coins move anywhere, anybody who accepts it or sends it can go to jail for it, which is crazy because somebody sends you free Bitcoin.
You's going to jail.
Yeah, it's automatically a problem. So that's definitely an issue. Definitely an issue.
Next up, Coinbase bug allows users to still eliminate Ethereum wallet pay $10,000 bounty for discovery. For one, who is here in the community helping Coinbase? Like, I'm not saying, thieving is good, but since this, whole scam thing is an industry, why would you let Coinbase walk for $10,000?
Yeah.
I would have paid you double to get the job done. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, yeah, so you haven't heard, major U.S. crypto wallet provider exchange service Coinbase has rewarded Dept's company with a $10,000 bounty after it discovered a smart contract glitch, allowing users to steal as much as they want in Ethereum. Wow.
What a disaster.
What a glitch. And it looks like Coinbase actually only patched that up about a month, where they were told, reported to Coinbase December 27th of last year, it says here, the company, which is Six Company, and it looks like Coinbase didn't patch it. Let's see. Yeah, a month later on January 26th. So you had a whole 30 days to let the entire community know. and you didn't. What's this company called again? You're going to get our dino today.
Yep.
One had to be a part of the good guys, huh? No,
Well, I mean, it's
the quote unquote.
That's why we made the how to get off Coinbase, and why a lot of people have having trouble with them in different areas. Just more the same. I think they're trying to become this company that can be IPO'd and kind of standard in the industry. However, stuff like this, you can't let it slide. Like I said, the Binance CEO is a gangster. He ain't letting that happen at all.
Right.
This glitch ain't 10,000. He's like, what?
Put another zero on that. We're going to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, they ain't getting away with that.
Y'all like robbing people, all right.
Yeah, but if it's exactly, it's like, oh, so you like robbing. Yeah. All right, bring out the hammer.
Right, you're a thief. Okay. So yeah, it's one of those things where we know every exchange, every coin, almost everything's going to have some type of glitch, which is why they do offer these bug bounties, which is a good thing for the community. Because that's an industry right there. Just literally catching glitches and catching bugs and all these different programs and exchanges. So huge. One thing I will commend Coinbase on is actually honoring that, because companies like them sometimes don't honor that bug bounty that they put out. They find an excuse through their lawyer doublespeak to say, or their legal doublespeak to say, well, we don't technically have to pay this. So kudos for Coinbase to actually pay that out. That's a good thing in that direction.
It's a drop in the bucket. That's 30 seconds of business.
Yeah, I mean, if that. So next time, just remember it's Coinbase you're trying to say. South Korea financial regulator says Fintech will solve the youth job problem. Finally.
Been saying this for years.
Somebody in South Korea with the whole brain, not the half, the whole brain. Basically, South Korea Financial Services Commission, the FSC, has announced they will use blockchain tech for future fintech innovation by focusing on supporting new technology as opposed to regulating them. Basically, they want to be one of the incubators and one of the main hubs for those smart cities to build and develop on that. And Jung Koo, who is the chairman of the FSC, was quoted as saying, Fintech is an area that requires new technologies, and it will solve the youth job problem by increasing job positions for young people.
Oh, yeah.
Cut and dry. There it is. Boom.
Easy.
You've been saying that for a long time.
I've been saying for the longest. Yeah. Because I've consulted people who had kids who were in the room, 12, 13, on up to high school level, and the curiosity that kids have way outweighs what parents have. Because, parents or older people are looking at it like an investment or how can I, protect my money. And then younger people are like, oh, I can build apps on this. I can use it to send money, this and that. And if you have a young population that's hard to get jobs, even on through college or whatnot, after college, I know a lot of my friends had trouble. Start your own business in crypto or accept crypto or learn how to code or learn. I mean, it's 100 ways in crypto to make money. And I promise you, these young people will find it. So the jobs reports you get over the next 5 years may be a little skewed because it may seem like, oh, it's not as many people working for whoever. It's a lot of people going to be working for themselves.
Right.
And it won't be on that report. So that's very, very encouraging to see.
And then, we do talk about code and development a lot, but people, I mean, it's so much stuff that's just in the space as far as ICOs. If you were reading and reviewing and researching ICOs, that's a business there, Journalism, yeah, that's going to be huge because there's so much research you have to do in this space. So there's a ton of things to do. Copy editing. Proofreading. Honestly, you start proofreading service crypto articles. You got to know what they're talking about. But
marketing.
Yep, there you go.
Terrible graphics on some of these websites.
There we go. It's an entire ecosystem being built. So literally think about whatever industry you're in and all the jobs that go to that industry and how all those jobs could come to the crypto industry because we're going to need them. Lawyers. I've been telling lawyers for literally the last year and a half. Friends that we have as lawyers, like if you don't jump into the crypto space and learn the regulations or what they're trying to do and consult on that end, there's just, the possibilities are endless. So, filmmaking. Filmmaking will be huge in the crypto space. Exactly. You saw about these new companies that are definitely going to need commercials or actual films from crypto journeys of different people. That will be huge as well. So it's a ton of stuff. Put your head to it. Sit down with your family at the dinner table. And let's talk about something besides basketball and football, wherever else is going on in a political world that you can't control. This is something you can control. And make a change in the next few years. So
absolutely
huge. It's me, Boss Lady said her 8-year-old son's learning to code this summer. There we go.
That's what I like to hear right there.
That is what's
get into it.
As it was.
I promise you, it'll pay off later.
It'll pay off faster than probably anything else will. Nikkei report: Japan to issue warning against crypto exchange Binance. Now the article went ahead and talked about some of the Twitter folks who got mad about it. But basically, a newspaper Nikkei came out and said Binance is supposed to be one of the people targeted by Japan, cracking down on exchanges that have not been registered in the country. However, the CEO of Binance here, Changpeng Zhao,
my boy CZ.
CZ, there we go. I like that better. He made this post on Twitter basically saying, Nikkei show irresponsible journalism. We are in constructive dialogue with Japan FSA and have not received any mandates. It does not make sense for JFSA to tell a newspaper before telling us while we have an active dialogue going on with them. Now, of course, we don't know this to be the facts or not, regardless. But if this is true, they are right. Just because the newspaper gets, maybe a hint of a story being formed, whatever, it doesn't give them that right to just go full blown and post something, especially when it's a delicate landscape such as this. But again, kudos to somebody like the Binance CEO who hopped on Twitter and was like, "Hey, let me give my statements, my side of the story."
He be ready.
Yeah, this is how you do business. That's good business for him to come out and just not let the rumor mill, start to form. He came out and kind of crushed it. When he could, stay on top of it. This is somebody I like this little Elmo.
And I mean, we said that last week. Let the FUD commence, basically.
Right.
Yeah, like it was basically just like let the FUD machine get rolling because we already know it's coming.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty good to have him come out. I mean, and regardless, for Japan to come out and try to do this with exchanges in general, well, you all know our feeling on regulations there, but got to protect the investor, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Right.
Whoever that is.
The UK government is launching a cryptocurrency task force. Now, we've heard about this in the United States with the SEC and RS and all those great working people over there. What is going on with the UK government?
Looks like they found 11 guys who are no coiners, and apparently they want to get back at people who have cryptocurrency by joining this What is this? I mean, I guess, like we said, along the lines of terrorism or any type of security, you can basically make anything worthy of investigation. So with cryptocurrency, of course, you have people who think there's all these illicit drug dealers, even though we have plenty of reports to prove against that with illicit activities and stuff. But I guess their task force is supposed to crack down.
He looks
on
like he'd be a leader of the task force.
Yeah,
too.
He got a task force face.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Should be a villain though.
That's smug.
Right, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's look at him. I know all the right answers to all the questions.
You like you about to snitch right now.
I tell you.
But I mean, honestly, they want to manage or they want to control the flow of capital, much like any other big country. They want to make sure they know that their people can stay poor. So they want to make sure that you are actually financially able to pull yourself out, basically by saying we have this task force, and if you do anything against the rules we make up, then we'll come and get you. However, one of the biggest problems we've seen is there are global leaders who are saying literally, if we don't connect globally, there's nothing we can do. I mean, your country can say, we got this task force, you can't use this, and then it could be exact opposite in Brazil, different in Senegal, different in Australia. So I honestly, if somebody lives there or if they're traveling there, do they have to follow those rules while they're in UK? Because it's a global currency.
Right.
Also, if you're there on a visa for work or if you're a student, can you not do certain stuff in that country before So it's kind of it's kind of gray area.
Well, I mean, hey, let's call it for what it is. At this point, it is theft, it is corruption in many governments, and they are literally trying to strong arm their way into the crypto game. I think literally the only thing separating any government right now and what they're doing in cryptocurrency as far as these task force is them having the people and them having the diddly gangs to grab and form one. Because if the crypto community was big enough and we did have enough resources, it would be very easy to grab 100, 200 men and women and say, well, here's our task force to combat anything your task force does. Here's another 1,000 people to combat anything your regulator says. Well, we're going to do our own regulation over here. Here's another 5,000 people who are doing X, Y, and Z to combat whatever you're going to do with your IRS in different countries because you think you're going to come take people's crypto. Literally, it's just a numbers game, and they are showing themselves to be a game. That's why that Freudian slip almost happened. Because I said game, but I was thinking game when I look at this cryptocurrency task force that literally came out the blue. Again, I didn't see any vote going on in the UK. I didn't see any discussion of it. I just saw it pop up. So you literally are using, and the crazy thing is they're using your tax money. They're literally using citizens' tax money. Here in the States, too, they're using citizens' tax money to form gangs to stop them from being entrepreneurs and innovators for a new technology that revolves around numbers.
Exactly.
Do you understand how crazy this is?
You're paying
binary code.
Yeah.
Like they are met at imaginary numbers that wasn't even real a couple years ago. They're using your tax money. I mean, especially U.S. What, 21, 22 trillion dollars in debt. Yet we're developing crypto task force and SEC when it's like you can't stop the banks. Why are you even coming over here? Or the OFAC that just came out and said, well, now we'll actually try to monitor every crypto address for these specially designated people, or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You are wasting our money. Stop trying to do this. It doesn't work.
Alphabet boys. Right. As soon as you put some letters in front of your name, all of a sudden you're big and bad.
Right. All those
OFAC and S&D.
All that hall guarding in middle school and high school finally paid off.
I can't. Yeah. Young hall monitors.
Right. That was them training right there, trying to.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Good gracious. How about all these regulators and all these task force? How about you go to the private sector, or while you even have your government job, start something and show us you can compete in a competitive landscape, not one that basically automatically promotes you for not having DUIs, which I know to be a fact.
Oh yeah.
Like in the movie Taken, good luck. Exactly, Bitcoin hippie. But I got a special skill set. I got a special skill to stay invisible. There we go. It's called VPNs. That changed the entire game on that.
Yep.
Story isn't loading, so we shall come back to it. But basically, this story was about
Snowden.
Right? They didn't want to bring him up. Edward Snowden came out and said Bitcoin's public ledger is his biggest flaw. Now, he was speaking about that in regards to Bitcoin scaling. He's saying that, hey, can you really keep every transaction on the blockchain as we continue to grow, get bigger? He doesn't see think that's really feasible. But in general, he also wanted to kind of highlight where he thought Bitcoin was going, anywhere crypto was going. That was going to be toward privacy coins, something we talk about a lot. I think he mentioned Zcash on there. And he's just saying that it makes much more sense to already have that privacy implemented as a feature, something that Antonopoulos has said many times as well. So,
what
are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
is it this big flaw, the public ledger? Is that the flaw of Bitcoin?
Well, I think the public ledger itself is necessary in order to have blockchain work. However, I don't think it's as bad a flaw as Snowden is making it, simply because for everyday people, they're not trying to move money for private reasons. They're not trying to do certain things with their money that may be, kind of illicit, so to say. Most people aren't doing that anyway, so I don't think it's that bad of a feature. Also, good thing about crypto is it's decentralized. If there is a feature that's bad or whatnot, people will move on. People may move on to Monero, people may move on to Zcash. So cryptocurrency as a whole, we have our stuff in place to move in, but Bitcoin itself, from a security standpoint, I can see why he would say that, because he's, one of the top security people in the world.
Right.
However, like I said before, those of you who use it, who have different wallets, who have, a bunch of transactions or whatnot, don't really have anything to worry about money-wise. So,
but I will give props to Snowden in general. Again, he is an American hero, people. You see in this first paragraph, for those who don't know, Edward Snowden became notorious for exposing the U.S. National Security Agency's massive surveillance agenda, I wouldn't say agenda, program in 2013. And of course, he was basically driven out of our country because instead of painting the correct picture of him being an American hero, they painted a picture of him being a traitor. Even though there was no other way through his chain of command to get this information out of things like X key score and the like. Of course, those reports are still rolling out, like the one we saw a couple of days ago from the Intercept that showed the NSA supposedly tracking Bitcoin addresses and owners. So, he was the person who broke all that. So, again, like you said, he's definitely using it for a different reason than the normal everyday people. I mean, he's still on the run till the day, basically, where he can't enter the country.
Was he in Russia?
Yeah, I think he's in Russia. And you see what happens? We push away our talent, we go to Russia, and we push them away because we were doing corrupt stuff. Crazy.
Oh, man.
Right?
Crazy world.
Crazy world we live in. And you can tell, listen, here's how you know Snowden's smart anyway in general. For him to be able to get the leak to happen, for him to be able to steal the information, or I won't even say steal, for him to bring light to the situation is in itself a very tough mission to do. You don't have information going back and forth to these places like NSA and all that. Even though a lot of people don't know, NSA is in Maryland in a very random spot where, like, you would be surprised if you say that.
They sell chicken and mumbo sauce.
Basically, oh man, it's
and
so
in the front,
random.
They got NSA.
It's so random. It's a random. My buddy used to work there. It's a very random area. I'm like, this is where it's at. Like, this is. It's right outside DC, baby. Like, that's what we doing.
Right there.
Binance. We talked about this. Binance CEO and Nikkei. What else going on? Oh, Facebook users could retake control of content with blockchain analysts. Of course, Facebook has been in the news lately because, last 2 days they shed about $60 billion worth of their value on the stock exchange. However, they were worth like 500 billion something. I think it had a 0.53 trillion or something. So worth a ton of money, but they shedded $60 billion because it came out that a third party basically was using some of the Facebook data that they got from consumers, and they gave it over to the Trump administration's marketing company or something like that happened, where they had all this information on people. And of course, Zuckerberg, who's talking about running for president now, he's doing all these social responsible things, or he claims to be, is also the same Mark Zuckerberg that had the possibly Russian ads all over through Facebook. They just banned the ICO ads. And then going back even further, I remember they had the quote from his college days out where he basically said, people are dumb Fs because they give me all their private information without even asking or questioning it. Yeah. And this is the same person who owns Facebook that all of us are signed up with.
Yeah, pretty much.
He said before he doesn't care about people's privacy when he was younger. Of course, he got his media team on when he got a little older, and they cleaned up all that, and he's running for president possibly. But this is the same person. He doesn't care about your privacy. He thinks it is pretty funny that you provide so much information, which is why my pages stay there.
Oh, yeah. Outside of the social aspect of it, where he kind of stole the idea and kind of messed over his business partner and kind of did a lot of stuff.
Winklevoss twins. And then
I don't trust him because he doesn't blink. Have you ever watched him talk? Mark Zuckerberg
you
never blinks.
Guy. You come out the blue with the funniest stuff.
You can't trust anybody that doesn't blink like 3 times in 5 minutes. Good gracious. Like, he just stares at the camera. I'm so sorry for what I did, and I want to make sure that it doesn't happen. Yeah, right, man. You are just, I don't trust people who don't blink. So starting at that point and moving to where we are now, I've already known this was going on. I mean, everybody on Facebook hopefully knows that your information is being sold. Any free platform you use, your information is being sold. So, yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. You do have the assumptions being sold, but again, these are the people in power. It's crazy. Like Mark Zuckerberg, these are the people in power because of these technological advances, which is why we need more people to jump on it, so we can have some normal people out there with some tech, that makes this type of money on that level. Because Mark Zuckerberg,
yeah, man,
I won't say anything.
Young Berg, get him out of here.
Not the person I want as any type of leader.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen when another president actually get him in the room one-on-one and square up with him?
Right. Yeah, they got Stone Cold Stunner him off the White House launch.
So back into celebrity ICOs. Ex-Liverpool footballer Michael Owen to issue his celebrity token. Now, I'll be honest. I don't think you did either, right? I don't know who Michael Owen is.
I don't know who this is.
But he was an ex-Liverpool player. I know football is huge. Thought it was a cool story on Cointelegraph.
For our European watchers.
Right, exactly. We know we have him out there. So we're definitely going to cover it. But former Liverpool soccer star Michael Owen has partnered with the Singapore-based global crypto exchange, to issue his name-backed cryptocurrency, the Own coin. Bloomberg reports. So I'm not going to go into what his own tokens are. But again, it was just one of those things we wanted to highlight because we do see a lot of celebrity token endorsers, and it looks like he's doing his own literally this time. I don't know. What are your thoughts on all these? I mean they still don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're going to get this money.
I'm sure he could raise somewhere around $10 million worth of people. Easy. Just because they like him. So I'm pretty sure if he does well and other people who are popular are doing well, you'll see other people who are popular just come out with a coin and say, oh, you have to use our token to buy our whatever, or you can use it to buy merchandise.
And that's what his was, is to buy merchandise.
Exactly. So when Migos coin comes out, and you can buy their albums with it, don't be surprised. But I'm telling you, anybody that's even a little bit famous is about to start creating their coin. It even says there, ODB's son, the dirty coin is coming out. So anybody with a little bit of famous and any type of connections, they could put this stuff out, make a cool $10 million off of it, and then, it failed. Oh well, you know the risk.
Well, what's crazy? I have this highlight right here. These Own tokens are set to be launched next quarter, right?
Yeah.
The fact that, and this is not just his token. This is a lot of actual real ICOs. Looking at you, Tron, I think it took 2 months for them to pop up and launch.
Yeah.
So you literally have projects coming about the woodwork and launching within 8 weeks. People, do you understand how absurd that is?
Yeah. There's no business that could
there's
scale, do anything.
It's not happening.
Weeks.
So this is one of the ones where like they're launching next quarter, so you're gonna take 2 or 3 months to get the paperwork together, get the legal stuff together, start getting some backers that promise that they'll back it. Make sure the crowd sale doesn't look like a bad thing if it doesn't get all his money.
Developers,
right? Like just the hiring process you're right. Hiring process of developers will take 2 months on its own.
Yeah.
So my point is, it's pretty interesting to see not just this one. This is of course a highlight example, but many of these ICOs and projects literally pop up. You guys have to look at that. Say, all right, how long have you been operating a business? What was your last business? What was your last project? Now all these people got free time to start businesses and projects. Would you just quitting? Just give you 2 weeks notice? I can't get 2 weeks notice?
Where your last job at?
I'm supposed to trust you with $20 billion, but I can't get 2 weeks notice that you're going to quit your real job?
Exactly.
To start an ICO project. So again, these are some of the things you got to do as far as due diligence, because that is pretty funny.
Yeah. But we've seen some bad ones. I mean, I don't know. What's the worst ICO endorsed so far by?
Oh, is that the free Bitcoin question
I think
today?
that may be the free Bitcoin.
Free Bitcoin question today coming in hot. What is it?
What is the worst ICO you've seen that was marketed by a famous person or somebody who people know? I think personally,
it's not too many people.
It's not. It was a lot. Actually.
All right, give Steven Seagal.
Steven
Use that one. That was a bad one.
Had to be the most hilarious. Because for one, it's Bitcoin with 2 eyes, so it's like automatic. What are you talking about?
Why are you stealing?
And I gotta reiterate, people, you don't trust people who don't blink. You don't trust people with ponytails. So Steven Seagal, that was the worst one. But for the free Bitcoin, leave that comment. Who was your favorite? Put the public address.
There we go.
And we'll send you that free Bitcoin.
You heard that. All right. Other than that, I don't think we have too much more going on. It's been a slow week in crypto. I mean, we've seen the price action bouncing up and down. The volatility is still there, of course. We're waiting for this to finally come out as slump. Or as many, I keep seeing a lot of stories of people saying people are waiting to see what the regulators say. Waiting to see what the regulators say. Why? Do you believe in it or not?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you're waiting to see what the regulators say?
Yeah, if you're waiting on the regulators, you're going to be waiting a long time.
You're going to be waiting in 2022. And then they're going to look at you like, why you never bought none?
So slow.
We say this every day. Other than that, we love constructive criticism. So let us know what you like to see in that comment section as well. We'll have those show notes up a little bit later today. We have anything else going on? Is that about it?
That's all for me.
All right. Well, you know what to do for that free Bitcoin today. A little piece of a Bitcoin, people, was about $3 to $5 worth. Other than that, we will see you all tomorrow for a very happy Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Have a good one.